Hello, today I'm going to be talking about AR and VR. So the first one that we're going to be talking about is Quiver. Two things that I liked about it was that you can use it as an actual coloring page too. So once you do the experience, you can have the kids color it in. And I tried this with the kids at my daycare and they loved it. They thought it was so cool. So I really think that how excited the kids get and the interaction they get is really cool. But one thing that was challenging for me was just the fact that you had to download an app and you had to print the paper. I feel like there's so many steps getting into it that there should be a way that you can just click on something and it'll automatically do it for you. And also, I don't want to use the paper just for my phone to animate it and make it look cool. I think that's kind of a waste of resources. So here is my project. I did one on birds, and so I struggled with the QR code as well, so that was a challenge for me, like my camera didn't want to adjust to it. So then once you scan it, you hold it so that it can get the picture, and then it animates it for you, and you can click the little colorful squiggly, and it'll color it for you. And then you can click on the bird, and it'll move it and show you the bird's nest. So I really think that was cool, and then it reanimates. So the ITSE standard that falls under is 1.6a, choose platforms or tools. Students choose the appropriate platforms and digital tools for meeting the desired objectives for their creation or communication. So if you give them an assignment on a bird, they can choose the bird coloring page and do it that way. The Nebraska standard that it falls under is SC.1.6.2c. Read grade appropriate text and use media to determine patterns in a behavior of parents and offspring that helps offspring survive. So this one would be directly related to the bird video that we just did. So the birds are showing patterns and behaviors and protecting their offspring by sitting on it. So for the next one, we used Merge Cube. And so for mine, I really liked that it had many different options. And I also liked that it was a little bit of origami. So it's going to keep the kids entertained while you're doing it. So, one thing that I did not like though was just like how many steps, again, you had to do for it. You had to print the paper, download the app, create an account, and then you also had to cut out the paper, glue it together to make the cube. The cube itself was cool and the steps were cool, but it's a lot to do, especially with early childhood. So for mine, I did mine on the ear. And so you can zoom in. I really did enjoy that factor. And it gives you plenty of different options that you can click on and it gives you information about. And so I was reading through these and I thought it was all really interesting. And so it just continues on showing all the different options you can use. So the ITSE standard that it falls under is 1.6c, communicate complex ideas. Students use digital tools to visually communicate complex ideas to others. And then the Nebraska standard that it falls under is SC.1.11.3a, which is use observations of the sun, moon, and stars to describe patterns that can be predicted. So I believe there's an option to use stars. So you would be able to see different constellations, you would be able to see the moon, and you might even be able to adjust it to which moon phase, which would be really cool for students to be able to see and process like, oh, the moon is waning gibbous and see its actual shape so that in real life they would be able to see it and point it out. So the next one is Google AR. And I really liked that you could adjust it however you wanted. It adapts to your environment. So you can make the tiger larger or smaller. And you could move your phone around to wherever you went. And another thing I liked was that it is pretty accessible. It's the one challenge I would say is that it's kind of hard to figure out at first. So I was trying to do it and I had to watch the instruction video multiple times because it wouldn't pull up on my phone unless I did it a certain way. And so I think working with young children, that would be kind of hard to explain to them. You'd have to do it step by step and then probably redirect children even then. So I did mine of a tiger. And it's kind of funny because a tiger is much larger than a St. Bernard, but in this it looks like it's smaller. The ITSE standard that I chose was 1.4c prototypes. Students develop test and refine prototypes as part of a cyclical design process. So you could do it compared to different things. You could even, I really like that you'd be able to do like kind of a silly thing where you could have the children pose with the tiger and send it to the parents, and that would be a fun little take-home present for them. The state standard that I chose for it was SC.1.6.2b. So that's develop a simple sketch, drawing, or physical model to illustrate how the shape of an object helps its function as needed to solve a given problem. So you'd be able to put the tiger in a certain scenario and see how it would kind of react, or just see what it would be like. And then finally, I did Google VR, though it's not working, so let me pull it up again. And so for mine, I did a paddleboard video. And it's just in a really peaceful environment. And so I would really love to do this as like a brain break for first graders. I think just having them sit, listen to the water movement would be really nice. And I really like that it had different options. Like if you wanted to show them the world, you could show them a different place. The ITSE standard that it falls under is 1.4C. Nope, that's the wrong one. Is 1.7D, local and global issues. Students explore local and global issues and use collaborative technologies to work with others to investigate solutions. And then the state standard that it falls under is LA.1.SL.2C, which would be, with prompting and support, explain the purpose and information being presented. So you could have them explain what they saw during the brain break afterwards. Thank you for watching.